Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation Show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome to a special Wednesday live edition here. RJ's back with us. He's going to be on here a lot more often now that I've roped him back in like I usually do to him. This time I'm not making one to see me, but he's here. He's roped in. RJ, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Rich, man. It's been a good day.
Awesome. Tonight we got a good guest, man. We both just talked to him in the green room. It's going to be great to have him on here and share some great news about his company. So I think we could bring him in now without further ado.
Bring him on in.
Bring them, we're letting this, pause that we do here. But let's do it here. Let's bring in R.D.C. shoe founder, company founder, and USMC veteran, Darren Davis, to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Darren.
Welcome.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Great. It's great to have you here. I know you've been very busy. I tried to rope you into this about probably 8 months ago, and you were super busy then. And just recently, you reached back and said, "Can you get me on?" Yeah, I do it. And bang, here we are. Awesome. So great to have you here, Darren.
Oh, it's an honor. This is actually my first podcast ever. I am so honored. Yeah, this is great. Yeah,
we are honored too, man.
Yep. You never forget your first, right? So this is great.
It's right.
I'm excited. This is we have. I'm sure you've heard our background. You've heard what we do, but we're more than just a shoe company. We do quite a bit more than that.
You do a lot of outreach. I know that as well with veterans and Gold Stars. If you don't mind, Darren, tell us a little more about you from as far back as you want to go to how this whole thing started rolling and then get us here.
I give you the short version. When I was a young kid, I wasn't as heavy as I am now, but I was actually a tennis player, and I started when I was 4 years old and nationally ranked when I was 8 and played all the way until I was 15. Then I quit for a couple of years. I had some injuries, and I had a chance to go to the University of Georgia as a scholarship. I was just one of the schools I talked to. And then in high school, I had a best friend who came in with a recruiter one day, and my whole family was Army from the Civil War on up. And I'm sitting there going, well, I don't want to do Army. It's not me. No offense to them, but the Marine Corps uniform, I saw that guy in his dress blues. I said, that's it.
Gotta be better.
But I did what most people shouldn't do. My parents were divorced. So my dad lived in California. My mom was in New York when I was in New York. And I actually signed my dad's name when we went to MEPS. I swore in. And then they called my dad, but it was actually my best friend's father who answered the phone. He said, yeah, put that guy in the Marine Corps. He needs it, that kind of stuff. So I kind of did everything the wrong way, but it's the greatest decision I ever made in my life. So I became a Marine, got injured. I had a lot of problems with my back. So I got out, healed up because I was young, played some professional tennis, taught tennis for many years. And that's how this whole story kind of comes together, is I got a chance to string at the U.S. Open in 2001. I was in charge of Venus and Serena Williams. I'm sure you've heard of them. They're pretty popular. So they did okay. So I had 20 Grand Slam champions I strung for in 2001. And then the day I was going to go home was 9/11. And we all know what happened that day. And then 3 days later, I came home, and my wife, who's an artist, she drew the shoes you see behind me, the Glory shoes. The red is a Sharpie marker, and the white was a fabric paint. So she made that into a shoe. And then Venus and Serena's manager came up to me, Leland Hardy, and said, hey, we need about 1 million pairs of those shoes. We could sell them right away. I said, what do you mean? They're just drawings. They're just So I knew I had something, and that's how it kind of started. So we had the shoes made, had some samples made, and then I wanted to make sure I had a cause. So I became a police officer in Roanoke, Virginia after that, 2005. Did that till 2009. After 5 years, I saw so much down there. I seen enough. I said, okay, I need to make a living and make some real money. So fast forward a couple of years, I became a medical rep, but I met Woody Williams. Woody Williams was the last Medal of Honor recipient for World War II, a Marine from the Battle of Iwo Jima. It's funny when you hear about Medal of Honor recipients, you say, wow, these guys did such incredible things. They make movies about them. But then when I walked up to Woody, I met him. He's 5'5" or 5'6". I'm sitting there going, wait, how did you do what you did? He took a flamethrower, which only lasts 30 seconds. And for 4 hours, went back and forth with 2 Marines that were actually killed beside him. But he took a 7-pill battle.
Wow.
Man.
The flag was raised on February 23rd, 1945. So he gave me a hug, being a Marine, and he says, welcome aboard. You're my brother now. Anything I can do for you. But who was the president, it's his grandson, and said, look, I'll sell these shoes if I can get Woody to back me. And he says, sure, you know everything you need. And then Woody says, why don't you come to convention with me in Boston? And I got to meet, I think, 20 Medal of Honor recipients that time. And how this all came together was that night I went to a dinner, and one of the daughters of a Medal of Honor recipient, her dad passed away. Ernie West passed away. When they pass away, they always ring the bell for them at the next convention. And that's usually the last time a lot of people, the families will come together and, say their goodbyes. And I said, well, we need to memorialize him. We need to remember him forever. And that's where we came up with the cards. We put a Medal of Honor card in each one of our boxes to remember that Medal of Honor. Even living or passed away, we try to tell their story because it's such a remarkable story. Anyone that's been in the military like us, we understand what they've done, right? They don't just make movies or give out those medals out for nobody. You have to do something. So I was so impressed by that. And then I talked to Medal of Honor Society, and they said, well, we'll let you do it and use our logo. And I said, well, I'll pay for everything. I'll do it all. I'll do the cards. It's all on me. I just want permission to use your logo on our boxes. And that's how it all started. That's how all of this got going.
That's outstanding.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
That's not even the best news. The best news is we just keep going. So we did the Glory shoot, did really well. We were on Fox and Friends twice with Pete Hegseth, and we sold out both times. And I said, well, we got to do more than this. So last year I went to Reads Across America in Arlington, which blew my mind. So today the news is I just talked to Reads Across America, and we're going to become a silver corporate sponsor. So every time someone buys a pair of the new Patriot shoes, $17 will go to the Reads Across America, and then 5 of that 17 will go to the Medal of Honor Society. So we're always keeping the Medal of Honor Society and recipients, and you'll still get a card in the box. And but we're growing from there. I mean, this is just the start of it. Yeah,
making a huge impact, man.
We're trying to. I mean, I don't think the problem I've realized in being in the military world now that I'm starting to get back into it. I mean, I'm old. I'm 54. I was a Marine back in the 80s. So, but it doesn't matter when you served. Everybody from World War II on up that I've met with, they all have the same beliefs. They all have, they all believe in what they believe in, but their values never changed. And to me, that's just phenomenal. And our society, our military society, is humongous.
Man,
it is humongous. I mean,
the
power we have behind us is incredible, and no one taps into it.
Yeah.
Definitely all interconnected too. Like you were talking about Reads Across America and the Medal of Honor Society in 2012 when I was wounded in Afghanistan. Just days before the night, 2 days before I was wounded, I was hanging out with Flo Groberg and Sergeant Major Kevin Griffith.
Flo's great, isn't he? Oh, I love Flo.
Flo's a great dude. Oh. And 2 months after that, where he got wounded and Sergeant Major were killed, he earned that Medal of Honor by diving on top of the bomber. And I mean, he was a great runner, and he lost a lot of the parts of his leg down there, lots of surgeries, and he never gave up hope. He's a great dude. He's still a great dude now. He's still a great advocate for veterans across the world. And now I'm the chapter lead for Travis Manion Foundation here in Clarksville. And we just did the Reads Across America at Kentucky West Veterans Cemetery. We do it every year there. So when you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I just did that. That's awesome.
So is Travis Travis Manion? So there's a kid I met at the Medal of Honor Citizens Awards that did, I think, Scoops for Troops that helps out Travis. I think that's who it is. Like it's amazing how small this world is when you start to get into it. Everybody kind of knows everybody. It is. I met Flo a couple of years ago talking about him, and he knows more about football than I'll ever know. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
So what an incredible person. And like you're telling me before, you talked to Daryl at the museum, and just incredible people that give back. I'm honored to be even mentioned with these guys. They're phenomenal.
And Daryl was great and very humble guy, and knowing all the things he actually did in the military, and then how humble he is now with the things he's done since leaving the military. He was at the Museum of the Bible, which I didn't know existed, and he told me about that. And then now at the Medal of Honor Museum, so it's amazing things he's done as well. This
museum that they're doing, I think it's March of 25. It's coming out. It's if he emails you of what's going on every week, it's going to be humongous. I mean, I just went to the World War II Museum in New Orleans. $400 million they put into that museum. It took me 3 days to go through it. Unbelievable. And if this is anything like it, which I think it's going to be,
yes,
it needed to be done years ago. I mean, Medal of Honor recipients, think about this. There's been 3,500 or a little bit more than 3,500 that ever existed. There's only 65 living left out of 300 and how many million people we have on America. So that just tells you how small of a number these people are.
Mm-hmm. Definitely is small. And the museum in New Orleans, that museum is amazing. It took us 2 trips to the city to go and see the whole thing.
So you've been there. Incredible.
I've been there twice. Yeah, it's amazing.
You saw the movie with Tom Hanks in it?
Yeah.
They had snow coming down. They had snow coming down. RJ, if you've never been.
Never been, man.
They get to the Battle of the Bulge, and all of a sudden shaved ice is on top of me. I'm looking around like, you got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. It's so cool. It's really cool.
That's got to be a good experience.
Definitely. You see the Screaming Eagles on the screen, though, RJ. So you see some of our brothers from the 101st on the screen when that's happening. So you feel it. So you feel them for you.
It's actually kind of cool, that one part where they do the 101st with the guys reading the letter from his sister or something like that. They did an incredible job, and you got both sides. You have the European side, then you have the Asian side, the Pacific side, which Marines and Army too. So, but it's just wow. If the Medal of Honor Museum is anything like this, it's going to take days to go through it. And there's so many stories, and all the stories, but it's when you get to meet them in person, the story doesn't do them any justice. These people are just they have to live with that burden every day of what they did. And the worst day of their life, I never thought about it, but they have to relive the worst day of their life every day, where a lot of us, we've had a bad day. We can dump it. They can never do that. And everybody wants to talk about those days. I talk about football and whatever else. I don't care about that stuff. I mean, I can read it any time about what they did, but their character is unbelievable. The person that carries that medal around is an incredible person. It really is. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. So, yeah.
So let's circle back, man, a little bit. You know, you make a big impact in that space, you know, but in the beginning, right? You know, kind of give us some insights on like some of the challenges you faced, you know, in the early stages of building the brand. You know, I mean, because you gave the story and it was like, oh wow, this happened. It sounds easy, but I'm sure you faced some challenges, man.
Well, nobody wants to help you. It's amazing. When you're in the military world, it's a lot easier than the civilian world. I'll tell you that much, because you have so much in common with people that have done it. The problem is a lot of civilians or a lot of corporations, they don't want to help you because they're trying to figure out how they can get rich, right? Mm-hmm. The one thing I've learned about this world, it's not about, because everybody, if you look at it, everybody that gets a coin, let's say Flo gives you a coin and he doesn't know who you are, you're not in the military, what are you going to do? A lot of guys go on eBay and they sell it the next day for $200. Mm-hmm. Everything that they've given me, I keep. I have probably, you know, over 500 coins, whatever, but I try to make sure that, to me, it's nothing will ever be sold. Like the shoes in the back are all signed by Medal of Honor recipients. It's just something I like to collect. I did it one time where I had one signed and did it at a charity auction, and it just doesn't. It's not where the stuff belongs. And I will do some stuff for charity though. Some of the Medal of Honor guys will sign stuff for me, and I'll give it to charity, and they make money off of their charities, whatever. But getting back to your question though, in the beginning it was hard because there's no game plan for this. I was the first company to ever reach the Medal of Honor Society and say, look, I want to do this. How do I do it? They've never had anyone approach them like that, because usually they have like Lockheed or some big corporation that says, I'll give you $100,000. I want to have Kyle Carpenter the next day do a photo shoot. And I didn't want any of that. I don't ever ask for the Medal of Honor recipients to come to my town, or I can see them anytime I want. If I want to fly out and go meet them, I can do that. So what I said was, I'll pay for the cards. I'll pay for the boxes. I'll pay for all the design. I'll do everything. I just want to be a part of this because I understand how important they are. Yeah. And a lot of people go, oh, it's a Medal of Honor guy. They don't understand though. It doesn't matter if you're a Medal of Honor recipient, a Purple Heart recipient, a Silver Star, Bronze Star. It takes guts to do those things. It takes courage. It doesn't matter what medal you receive. But to me, anyone that signed on that dotted line in MEPS, to me, that's courage, because no one is writing a blank check anymore. These kids they're scared to write that. Yeah. We all did it. And to me, that takes guts. And to me, once you do that and you graduate boot camp, you Army or whatever branch you're in, and although we make fun of all of our branches, trust me, we do, but they all did the same thing. They all signed on that dotted line. So I never had a playbook for this. So what I've done now is every time I do something and another veteran wants to do the same thing I do, I try to help them out as much as possible. Say, look, these are the connections I have. How can I help you? Because it's the only way we're all going to grow. Yep. Because if I put someone else down because he has a shoe idea too, maybe we can work together. You don't know how that works, but a lot of it was, I'll be honest with you, it was just asking. I went up to the society and said, look, I have this idea about this shoe. I want to make money and give you $10 per shoe back to the society. No strings attached. How do I do that? Well, they go, well, I don't know. So I had to have the board, which is 9 Medal of Honor recipients, vote on it. They voted unanimously on it because what does it matter if they sell one shoe or 1,000 shoes? They're still getting some money back. There's nothing to lose. So that's the way I looked at it. I never ask a corporation to pay me any money. Let me see what I can do to help you. And that's what we've done.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's definitely awesome. Right
there. Yeah. I think that's I think that's important, you know, just in anything that we do, you know, and that's one of the biggest things that I've learned when I joined the military is not what can be done for me, but what I can do, you know. And so I think you just kind of gave that, you know, that in your story, you know, and all in a nutshell. So that's
think about advice. This. When you guys asked me to come on the show, first podcast, this is great. But everybody I've learned, and I was in sales for years in the corporate world, everybody wants something for something, right? You guys are doing it like we are. you are finding a great story. And we all know that in the stories nowadays with the veterans, the suicide rate is insane. I mean, we're losing them every day, right? Yeah. So how can we help them? But not just help them, not just talk about it, because I see a lot of corporations that will say, I'm helping out PTSD for soldiers, and they take all the money and they don't do anything with it. How do we translate that to help them? Because that's what they need. I rather see no homeless veterans ever in America, and we have more homeless. We're helping out immigration, which is fine if you do it the right way. But a lot of illegal immigrants are getting even VA care now for free. And it's like, whoa, what happened to the guys and the women that went over there and fought for you? And now you're forgetting them because you want someone to vote a certain way. You got to take care of us. We're the ones who take care of you. You have freedom because of all of us.
Yep.
I have a hard time with that. I really do.
Just last Friday, we lost Staff Sergeant Michelle Young, 34 years old. She worked in the military as basically a social worker type deal where she'd help others fight the demons. And she lost her battle with the demons just Friday. And she was a single mom, so she left behind her daughter, her friends and family as well. So, and we say at the beginning of the show all the time, you're not alone. Dial that 988. Call me, call RJ, call you, call any one of us. We'll talk to you. We don't want to lose you. We want to keep you here.
But the sad part is, though, everybody's afraid to talk. Everybody in this world is like, I saw her post on LinkedIn the other day. It made me cry. I'm thinking, what a beautiful young lady who had everything going for her. She helped so many people, and she couldn't help herself because a lot of us are afraid to talk. We're afraid to go on podcasts. We're afraid. Everybody, being a Marine, I get it. We're afraid to be vulnerable, but we can't help each other unless we all are fighting the same things. We are all fighting the demons in a certain way. It's all on how you look at it. A lot of us ignore it. A lot of us internalize on it. But I just tell people, I see a lot of things on LinkedIn, but podcasts like yours are phenomenal because you really talk about it. And that's what you need to do. Yeah. And that's why I'd love to get some of the Medal of Honor guys on here with you and talk about their demons, because they go through PTSD probably worse than most of us.
Yeah. And a lot of it's from exactly what you said earlier, having to relive it every day when they go to, because they go to so many events and people want them there, and every person say, hey, how are you? Tell me a little bit about what happened. And then they have to go through that, relive it every time they do that. And sometimes that helps a person let it off the chest the first time, but when you have to relive it in and day out, it kind of weighs on you.
Sure. Yeah. I was a cop too, but what's the first thing someone says to you? You say you're in the military, they go, how many people did you kill? It's the first thing someone ever asks you. I'm going,
yeah. Like, really? You want to call up death stats? But Darren, you talk about something great. The Misfit Nation, that's what it's all about, right? We want to have a community where we can be vulnerable, right? And then there's no stigmas that come along with that, right? And I remember over about a year and a half ago, was it, Rich? I came on the show, and I was fighting. Yep, I was fighting some real demons, man, and I was just. A lot of things was coming up against me, and the VA, I was having a lot of trouble with the VA, and I reached out, and that was the hardest part. That was the absolute hardest part. And you're right. The vulnerability is our biggest strength, because like you said, we have so many people behind us. And we just don't tap into it, just like you said. So
yeah, but that first phone call, who did you call?
Yeah,
the first person you called?
I'll call Rich.
And he got you on the show now, so you're in trouble now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He made a post that I jumped on. As soon as I seen that post, I said, listen, young man, you're not going nowhere.
But that's how you have to be
tonight.
Yeah.
And he said, what?
Yep.
I just think it's when I sit down with a lot of the Medal of Honor guys, we have drinks and whatever else, and you can see in their eyes when somebody comes up who's never met them before. And the first question they ask him is like, oh, I read your bio, and I can't believe you killed 175 people in 3 days. And you're sitting there going, and I get it. They're civilians. It's like going up to Michael Jordan or LeBron James, like, oh my God, how much money do you make? Oh my God. They don't understand. They're people. I'd rather go up to Flo and say, hey, how's your kid doing? And, how's your dog? Or that's how I am. I don't. Again, we can read about the stories, but anyone who's been in the military understands the politics of the military. We understand the pain. We understand losing people, because especially a generation of the last 20-year war, a lot of people are dying right now. And every war they have that. People drink, they'll take pills, they'll do whatever they can to ignore the problems.
Yeah.
And every time I see LinkedIn or Facebook, it's always like, hey, reach out, and no one does it. RJ, I commend you, because it's not easy, because you got to swallow that pride and say, look, I'm having a bad day.
Yep.
I had a real bad day after Virginia Tech in 2007 when I was a cop in Roanoke, and it crushes you, and you don't want to talk to anybody. You're like, I can deal with this. I got this.
Yep.
Then you realize like you don't got this, and it's
right.
And if you don't talk to somebody who's at least been there or done that, if you talk to, I remember the first time I shot at as a police officer, some old lady, I guess, thought we were breaking in. We were trying to do a wellness check, so she shoots a shotgun through the door of the house.
Lord.
scared me to death. Thank God I wasn't in front of the door. And I remember I had to go. You always have to go to a psychologist, right? After 3 days, after getting shot at. And it doesn't matter if it's even near you. You have to go see a psychologist. This kid was 20-some years old, and I walk in, and he says, "Oh, how does it feel? How do you feel?" And I said, "Okay, let me ask you, have you ever been shot?" He goes, "No." I go, "Then we have nothing to talk about." So you have a college degree and you've never had a gun shot at you. So I don't know. Yeah. So you need to talk, like you said, someone that can relate to your story.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that, a lot of us as veterans, we are so used to, the camaraderie, being in service. And then when you're out, you there's like that first piece of isolation. And then we live in that, and the problem is we live in that too hard, too long, and too deep. And so it's just, so it makes it harder, because even though we're still shoulder to shoulder and hand to hand, but it just feels like you're so far away, because we don't see each other as often or every day, and not in the trenches together and going through the hardest, toughest situations and circumstances together. So and when you're out, it's like, okay, now I'm having my toughest and hardest and most unbearable situations by myself, but really we're still not by ourselves.
No, and it's sad, because I've been married 25 years, and my wife still doesn't understand half the stuff I've been through, right? So she doesn't understand what it's like. So it's easy when a family member goes, "Just suck it up and it's okay, you'll be fine." You go, "Have you ever done the things I've done? Have you ever been hand to hand with anybody ever? Have you ever feared for your life where like if I go around that corner, I could die?" I was a tank, so I didn't have that much fear. I figured, if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be like it's not so I'm not gonna feel it. So whatever. Yeah, I was stupid. And I remember when you go into combat, they go, "Well, a tank in Vietnam lasted eight minutes." I'm going, "Well, that's not good odds." So it's but you do, and I think the more this generation talks about it, because I've seen generations World War II, and I talked to them. They drank, they did a lot of alcohol, and then you get into the 60s and stuff. The Vietnam guys, a lot of pills, a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking. But they never talked about it. They went back to work. And then that was probably the last generation where they also were hated when they came home. So they had that built on all the other stuff they had, plus trying to raise a family. At least nowadays, everybody wants you to talk about their feelings. But like you said, RJ, you got to talk to the right people.
Yeah.
And I don't think everyone at the VA really, unless they're a veteran, they don't understand you've been through. Yeah. I get a lot of civilians that work at the VA and go, "Oh, I understand." Like, no, you don't. You never put on, you have no clue what I've done.
Yep.
Zero clue, sir.
Yeah. And airborne, you guys are built a little tight anyway, though, aren't you guys?
We're a little weirder. Yeah, we have a little weirder camaraderie, and like I met him the day I met him. He was actually just blown up on base. We had a recoilless rifle attack.
The same
he
day.
was coming from the motor pool, and I found him and I think Sergeant Tinsley, both there all shaking up and stuff, and I basically told them both to suck it up. Let's go get out of the way before another one comes in. Let's go get going. And then he wound up in my platoon right after that. So that's how we met.
Yep. When the magic
suck
all
up's
happens.
good till the mission's over. Then you can,
Then you come back and take the knee.
Yeah. Then you can go lay in fetal position.
About 10 lifts. And I make you go running at 3 a.m.
Right.
Well, that's the best time to. It's the best time to do a PFT is right after you're drunk on Sunday. Monday morning, you walk in. Next thing you know, let's go run 8 miles. No. Yeah.
That's what exactly sound like Rich. Yep.
Yeah. Military, okay. As long as there's buckets or you're not in front of me when I get sick, it's gonna happen. So it's not gonna be pretty.
That's
Yeah.
the best way to roll right there.
Who
But I'll
cares
tell
if
you
we were
what-
responding to a situation at 2:00 in the morning? It's 4 a.m. We got to go run 6 miles. Oh, man.
But you know what? You wouldn't trade it for anything. Everything we've done in our life, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I see these kids that come out of college, they have all this debt, and all they do is complain about all the things in life, and they have no idea what it's like to trust another. I guess that's the biggest thing. They don't understand what it's like to trust another person beside them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everyone I've ever served with,
With
or
your
even
life.
if I haven't served with them, they're my brother or sister, no matter what. If they served, they're part of my family, period. And I'll do everything I can to help them.
Yep. Yep. You're right, man. Wow, man. That's good perspective. We're trusting somebody next to us with our life.
And you
With
might
our
not even
lives.
like them. You might
No.
Oh man.
Nope. Yeah. But we have the same. We got that green on. We all green at that point. No matter how much
Yep.
I don't like you. You know,
Yeah,
Definitely
I
don't
love-
like
got the
people
same
in front of
mission.
us.
Yeah.
I love when they say, "Well, you're racist because you're in the military." I'm like, "Racist? Huh. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, okay." But
Not
when
well
you
done.
serve, they don't understand. But I mean, it's the great thing about the military. It's every color. It's everything of everything. I've met people that were
Yep.
Satanists. I mean, you name it, they were in there.
Yeah.
It's you get people. Well, back in my day, you could sometimes go to jail or go to the Marine Corps. So yeah, now it's
Yeah.
changed a little bit.
Yeah, that's
thank
true,
God.
yeah.
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 Well, criminals make, I'm sure they make good Marines too. I don't know.
They make good warriors. They know how to fight.
They do, right? They know how to survive. That's the
Know how to
biggest
be
thing.
violent. Yeah.
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 They know how to make
that's-
shanks and stuff like that. So if they get caught, they can do everything they need to do to get out.
So you guys out now, completely out of the military?
Yes. I
Okay.
think we both got out within about a year of each other.
About a year
He was out
apart.
in 2014, right?
Yeah, 15.
15, yeah. So months
Yep.
apart. I got out in June of 2015.
Yeah, April. So yeah, it was months apart. Yeah. Yep.
That's great. I've been out since '91, so yeah, it's been a long time, but nothing changes. It's funny. I'm sure you talked to a lot of different generations, and they'd all go back and do it again, although their bodies wouldn't let them. But yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you have a
would you
similar
go to a
story.
different? Would you
Huh?
go to a different branch though? Would you do a different branch this time? See, yeah,
No.
I go to the Air Force. I'd 100% go to the Air Force.
The chair force.
Get that steak and lobster. Yeah, steak and lobster all the time. Luau's and things like that. And
I don't know. My
It's-
back might be hurting even faster if I was in a chair force, sitting in a chair all day.
Oh my god! I went to Okinawa, Japan for when we were doing tanks, and like I said, I played tennis. So I snuck off base one weekend to play a tennis tournament. Well, I won it, and the only reason why I got caught was because my face was on, I guess, the paper the next day, and we weren't supposed to go off base. That's how I got caught. But I slept in the Air Force barracks, the officers' barracks. Everything they say about the Air Force is true.
Yeah.
I mean, leather couches and a good, nice spread of food. And I was like, why am I a Marine? This is incredible. Yeah.
And so in 1995, I got stationed on Kunsan Air Force Base in Korea. There's only 2 Army elements there, air defense artillery. And our battalion commander took an Air Force condemned building and said, yeah, we'll take that because we're only going to be here short term. So there was stuff leaking in this building. Meanwhile, just across the street, the Air Force has maids, single person rooms and stuff like that. And my guys are living 4 dudes to a room. If they're on the bottom floor, the top floor flushed, it would come down into that bathroom. So it was horrible. So we'd go running in the morning and run through their dorms, because they call them dorms, they don't call them barracks. And you're banging on their doors at 5 in the morning, waking them up. Let's go, get up, we're doing PT. And they got all upset, and they'd have us get in front of their commander, because the commander would be mad that we woke them up and they were on crew rest or whatever. But we did it all the time because we didn't like the way they lived. Way better than us.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
And they
remember.
got extra money too for not living up to
Yeah.
Air Force standards.
Yep, that's what I was going to mention too. I remember being PFC, and there was some Air Force guys on base, and they were talking about how our stuff was dirty, and it wasn't up to standards, and they had to go get their pay for it. And I'm like, man, that's like a kick in the face. You mean to tell me I'm little old dirty Army guy? But right. Yeah,
I think my first year I made like $12,000 a year. I thought I was rich as could be.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, they get paid now. They get a good cost of living a year. I train soldiers now still every day, and so I see the new generation, and I mean, there's still the camaraderie is sort of there. It's kind of a lot different now because of all the new things they're allowed to do, and it's hard for the old hats to look at the things they're allowed to do now and say, "Man, I'm always happy that I'm retired. I don't have to get angry. I can just go home, and I don't have to stay in the woods with them no more. I can go home." But there's people in my office that are retired sergeant major. He scratches his neck every day. He's turning bright red. So, "Hey, look, just go home. Just go home."
It's yeah. I mean, when they always say old core, I never knew until I got out and I realized like I get it now.
Yeah,
These
whole
new
different
kids
world.
have it pretty well. Yeah, they do. But I think this is also still a generation. This is my thought. It's just like World War II. Is if we go into a conflict, let's say with China or somebody that we really have to go into, I think we still have, as an American, the ability to be another great generation. I do. I believe in this country so much that I believe that as much turmoil as there is, it's usually 1% of the loudest people that talk the most. But I think the most of America would pick up arms and fight like they did back in the day. I mean, that's how I believe. I believe in this nation so much. I believe in the American dream. I just believe that I personally serving is the greatest thing I ever did. And thank God I didn't take a full ride to a college, because the Marine Corps taught me a lot of good things, some bad things. Yeah. Yeah. Some things that, are probably X-rated, but definitely worthwhile. Yeah.
Hand in hand with Marine. So.
But when you guys go to a bar, or you go somewhere else, nobody wants to talk to the college guys. They don't want to talk to us because our stories are way better.
Man.
Oh, definitely.
And yeah, even better than mine.
RJ was saying before about, we're geographically separated now, but if you run into some dude or dudette that you served with, or even just another veteran,
you
run into them at that bar, you'll talk to each other all night like you knew each other forever.
Yeah.
And just pounding drinks and just talking, laughing. People look at you like you're nuts. Yeah. I just met this dude. Yeah. But we have all the same stories. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you really do. I don't know where you guys are at. I'm in Ohio now. We were in Rochester. We just moved here. My son's going to University of Northwestern Ohio, where, believe it or not, they have a NASCAR school here where they build high performance engines. So all the NASCAR teams come here for engine building. So they'll, like, let's say Hendricks will come here with his teammates, and they'll find guys that build engines from this school. But here's the cool part. I didn't tell you guys this yet. So I did Reads Across America. We got the contract today, so we're working with them. I'm also doing, and maybe Rich and RJ, we can get you over there. I'm doing a NASCAR truck race. I'm sponsoring a truck the Memorial Day weekend for the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte.
Heck yeah,
man! Yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm in Charlotte.
I'll go with you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm in Charlotte. I was gonna say, if you ever out this way, man, you gotta come.
I'll be there Wednesday. I'm going to Wednesday. I'm coming in, and Thursday I'm going to the Speedway Club to talk to General Swanik about the whole thing that we're doing in Memorial Day race. But we got a kid named Caden Honeycutt, who's an up-and-comer 20-year-old kid. And I don't think he understands what it's going to mean to be around me, because I'm nuts, and he's very shy, and I'm not. So I want to put him like I get to make the outfit for his fire suit. I want to do like an Evel Knievel with a cape. They won't let me do it, but I mean, that'd be amazing, right? The kid has no idea probably who Evel Knievel is. But
he can take that off before he gets in the car.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Or just let it flap in the back as he's driving. He has no idea how much he's going to get. We got Reeves going down there, and hopefully I'm working with Folds of Honor next week, so maybe I'll get them on board. I got Woody Williams Foundation, and this kid has no clue. He's going to be some 20-year-old kid like, why are all these Medal of Honor guys walking around me? Yeah. You better win. You better not crash the first lap, dude.
Right.
That's outstanding. And the Misfit Nation, we worked the NASCAR race here in Nashville the last 2 years. We worked it, my brother and me and Chuck, we've gone down there as the Misfit Nation and as media. And it's amazing just to get down there on that side of it, not be a fan and just be kind of a fanboy, but now you're as an interviewer and seeing that side. So I'd be honored to go to Charlotte with you.
It'd be amazing. We're actually the passes we're gonna have VIP passes, so we'll be right next to the pit as they're doing. Oh, nice. So yeah, I'll be in Charlotte on Thursday, RJ. I'll get your information and maybe we meet up.
Let's connect. Yeah, connect, man. Have a couple of drinks or something, man.
Because we're trying to make that weekend. What I'm trying to do for that weekend, the reason why I decided to do it and sign on it, was that I know Sunday race, the Coca-Cola 600 is amazing. They use the honor remember. They put the names on the cars. Well, why not start doing it on a truck race? So my thought is, talking to the general, is if we can get on Friday where the race is not as popular as the NASCAR on Sunday,
Right.
have all the Gold Star families in the area that want to come to the race for free, get a free ticket to the race. They have to pay for parking, which is probably $1,000 anyway, but they
They got to somehow.
yeah, but they get a free race, and then we'll have the Woody Williams Foundation there. They can lay a yellow rose for their membered service member, and then they can meet some of the Medal of Honor guys and just really understand what it's like, because this is their weekend, right? Memorial Day weekend is their weekend. Let's let them enjoy it and let them see a race. I think it'd be a great way to go. That way we get back to them too.
Yeah.
Great. I'm sure they'll have a blast and be able to breathe a little too and have fun, because a lot of them kind of stand back after that first 6 months when everyone's in their face when they lose their loved one. And then they kind of go into the shadows a little bit until they can finally feel comfortable going out again. So that would be great to get them out there to the race and be able to breathe and be kids again and be adults and have fun.
Well, I see a lot of Gold Star families, and the one thing they stop doing is when their kid dies, they always remember the day they're born, the day they died. But it's all the stuff in the middle that they forget, and that's the stuff that really is their life. And they have to remember that child was theirs for 18, 20, how many years they had them. Remember all the good things, right? It's kind of like when we get into a funk, and we all get into a funk, right? We all get to a bad place sometimes. But you got to remember that there's a lot of good that we did in our lives, right? And there's a lot of things that are positive. And even though we can't move forward because you think that person's not there anymore, you have to. You have to somehow move forward. And that's the hardest part. And that's why I think the more we talk about suicide, the more we talk about Gold Star families and losing their loved ones, they got to understand there's 30 million of us that are all the same. We've all been there, so we can help them. But, Rich, I am coming to Nashville soon. We're actually moving to Tennessee when my son graduates. We're moving to the Knoxville area, I think.
Okay, East Tennessee. All right.
Yeah, you'll be close in North Carolina that way.
But we might be going to Bristol. We're looking at Bristol too, because it's got it's got the drag race there and the race and
the racetrack.
Yeah, plus we're not too far from Charlotte and everything else. So
that's central to both.
Yeah, see,
yeah.
So
about 4 hours from us,
I gotta get out of Ohio. I don't mind Ohio, but it's not for me.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh no, I trust me. I know.
it's
yeah.
Nice people here, very nice people.
Yeah.
But Lima is really in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they make tanks here. They do make the M1 Abram is made here. Yeah.
No, man, I didn't know that.
The depot there, okay, or the arsenal.
Yep. Was it whatever? General Dynamics. They have their headquarters here for tanks.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wish.
Hey.
So yeah. Go ahead.
I wanted to say, like, so I think of us, some of what you're saying about, us getting into a funk, and we all have it, right? I think of everybody as an entrepreneur in our own way, right? Because we are, yourself is basically your business, right? And so I can ask you, it doesn't matter if it's yourself or if it's an actual business, brick and mortar or online. What advice would you have for anybody looking to either enter the footwear space or kind of navigate the ups and downs or the funks you might have being an entrepreneur?
So the first thing I do, let's say you get out of the service, you want to become your own business, your own brand, right?
Yeah.
So what I did was I looked up veteran organizations that help people start businesses. That's what I looked up. And the first thing that came up, believe it or not, was Warrior Rising. Warrior Rising, Jason Van Camp, he was a West Point graduate, and he was also a Special Forces guy. And what he did was he decided to take all of his traits that you learn in the Army as an officer and in Special Forces and say, okay, how can I help that in the real world? So now what he does is kind of like Vets to CEO and all these different organizations. But Warrior Rising was great because what they do is you have to do like an academy where you learn about everything about being an entrepreneur, right? So a lot of us don't even know what an entrepreneur is. But if you can sell yourself, you can pretty much sell anything if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
You have to. I've learned this though in being an entrepreneur is, and I sold medical equipment. I made a lot of money doing that, but I didn't believe in a lot of the product I did. Some of the products I did, but with my shoes, I can tell my story along with the story of the shoes. So I can really take everything I've learned in the military and put that towards my passion, because it is who I am. I am basically the American dream about doing what I'm doing. But anyone that has questions about being an entrepreneur, they start the academy, and then they'll do like a little pitch of, this is what I have for an idea. So I did that, and next thing I know, I went to what they call, it's like a business shower. They take 12 people out of usually 4,000 people. They'll check out who they want to bring in, and they always have I had two guys that are barbecue guys, chocolate. Someone made chocolates, which was amazing. And then they have services for like PTSD and horses where you can learn therapy. And I just had shoes. I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to do well. I have shoes. Who cares about shoes? But it was the people.
Tough industry.
Right. It was very tough industry, because everybody's like, well, you're not Nike, but there's $96 billion, and now it's up to $3 trillion to go to tennis shoes every year. So I'm kind of in a good platform. Yeah. But what I did was, when I did that, I got second place in the shower, and then Warrior Rising from that point on became part of my family. So anytime I needed help from them, I would call up and say, hey, look, so now I'm doing a pitch for Myers, the grocery store. I'm doing that in February. I'm doing a pitch for them because they have 266 stores. I'll probably be talking to AFES soon about putting my stuff in AFES because they have connections there. But I even got to meet Marcus Luttrell through Warrior Rising.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Talk about a dude. Talk about a dude. I mean, that is when you sit there and go, those are men, and they made a movie about them.
Yeah.
The movie does nothing compared to what this guy was.
Man.
He is so him and his brother, but Marcus, he told the story in the movie. You see, remember last time he gets blown up and he goes down in the hill and he's trying to hide from the Taliban. What they don't tell you in the movie is he had a broken back and shrapnel on his leg and crawled 8 miles before Muhammad picked him up. Like, are you serious?
Man.
Like, dude,
some grit.
Why wasn't that in the movie?
Man. Yeah.
It took too long.
Yeah.
And he's
afford to pay Mark.
But I mean, it's just but the connections, and that's what I was telling you before, RJ, is the connections that these guys have.
Yeah.
You're not alone out here. So I tell this to everyone that I talk to. I do a lot of their every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. They usually have a new speaker on there, warriorrising.org. They're phenomenal. Reach out to them. LinkedIn, everywhere you can. But they always have people that can help you. And I tell everybody when I do like a Zoom call with them, I always put please reach out to me. I've had a couple people reach out and say, how did you do this? I have an idea. It sounds stupid. I said, there's no stupid ideas. They're really not. I've heard of stupid people, but there's no stupid ideas, right?
Yeah.
We all deal with stupid people. I mean,
Yep.
But if you have an idea, why is it stupid? Why can't that be the next Pet Rock? Pet Rock was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. The guy made millions off of it.
Yes.
He got a stone from a gravel yard, put in a box, decorated the box. He made millions.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong?
Tell him that. I don't be like, that's stupid.
Yeah, but
how you like me now?
Yep. How you like me now is the response.
I think there's so much. When I was on Fox the first time, I wasn't on Fox. They actually, Pete Hegseth and those guys showed my shoes. And Will Kane, who's next to him, said it's the most untapped community is the military community. It's endless in how much money is here if you tap into it right. But the connections we have, and that's what I was saying, if it's PTSD, whatever it is, if you find the right organizations behind you that want to help you, you'll have a good mission. And that mission for me was the Medal of Honor Society, Woody Williams. Being a Marine, Woody, of course, I was attracted to just somebody who just, his whole life was dedicated. Not only did he get the Medal of Honor, he received it in 1945 from Truman. Then he worked at the VA for 30 some years. And then he decided that there was no Gold Star monuments out there to grieve. Instead of going to Arlington and see your loved one, you couldn't grieve in your community. So that's why they started making Gold Star monuments. And that's, to me, it's just, there's always something to find in the military world. We're actually, every war you've ever been to, they always have, like my Gulf War, they came out with GPS. They come out with something, technology later on that, why didn't I think about this? I could have been a billionaire years ago. But my goal is not to be a billionaire. My goal is I've been very blessed my whole life. I mean, God, it's amazing. I owe everything to God because it was glory shoes. Glory doesn't mean old glory. I would have said old glory. Glory is glory to God. That's why we did our first two is glory. Now, of course, we do the theme of patriot, probably do liberty next, whatever. But glory had to be the first one because that's the whole reason our nation is founded one nation under God. It's people can say whatever they want. They can be non-religious, whatever. Like, but I think all of our values come through God.
Yeah.
And I think it's what's missing a lot in this world nowadays is that they don't do enough.
Yeah. They don't give enough glory. Yeah.
They don't. And I love when I see like CJ Stroud, by the way, some of the Ohio State fans here, but he gave glory to God. And I think that's incredible. Why not?
Every time.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Him and his coach too, D'Amico Ryans. Every time those two talk, the first thing they say is, "I want to thank God." All glory to God.
How would you not? I mean, he created you, first of all. Second of all, everything I've done is because of him. None of this would be possible without it.
Yep.
I believe that there's a path for all of us. And it goes back to RJ, what you said, no matter how down you are, you still have one person that loves you. He created you, so he loves you. Yeah. And it's hard for us to see that sometimes. And you always feel like in life, when I was a cop, I got down a lot. I was thinking, why am I doing this? No one cares. I hate arresting people because it's the worst day of their life. I never see anyone on a good day. They don't invite me for a barbecue. Like, hey, Officer Davis, come on the barbecue. But what I did learn, though, when I was a cop, was if you it's the best advice I ever got as a police officer from my sergeants from Long Island. If you treat people like your family, so when you pull them over, don't think of them as whoever. Think of them as your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your dad, whatever like that. You'll treat them so much better because you're saying, okay, you've had the worst day of your life. How can I try to help you? Because I'm the last person on a scene anywhere I go. Now, if there's danger, you understand we got to take care of the danger and the threat. But if there's not, let's try to figure something. I don't want to take you to jail. Why am I even here? Why'd you call me? What's going on? How bad is your day?
Yeah.
And how do we laugh about it? You know, so that's how I look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
You said that earlier with the Medal of Honor recipients. They have to relive the worst day of their life. For first responders, police officers, firemen, they never meet someone on their best day. They always meet them on the worst day of their lives, unless they're for some reason at a wedding or something. But other than that, it's like the worst day of their life. And that's their first introduction to that human. And those are the videos you see on YouTube and TikTok is the worst day of that person's life and them going crazy because that cop just tried to get into them and help them, but it's misconstrued. And next thing you know, it's a viral video.
But I'll tell you, though, I had that happen where a kid many times was trying to fight me the whole time. And then once you start to realize what's going on, once you start to kind of feel like, okay, there's something really wrong. Is he on drugs? What's he doing? Why is he acting out this way? Why is he trying to kill me when I'm just trying to help him? That's what you got to remember, that they're having their worst day. It could be someone cheated on them. You never know what happened to them, right? So once you get them calmed down, that was the hardest thing about being a police officer. If you de-escalate the situation by laughter, jokes, anything you can do to try to humanize the situation, that's the best thing you can do. And once you get to that point, that's when you can do the work. That's when you go, okay, I don't want to be here. I want to help you. How can I help you? But a lot of these young guys that get there and they're cops and I think a lot of people do what they do, and I'm not knocking anyone does it. They're scared.
Yep.
If you see a lot of guys that do friendly fire or stuff like that, it's because they're afraid to die, which I get it. Trust me, none of us want to get shot. But you got to have some kind of level of like, okay, we know this is a mess up situation. All right, let's get through this. And a lot of people don't think; they just react, and they got to think. Yeah, and that's the hard part. And getting back to
the world need to hear it.
They do, and I don't care how tough you are. I've met the toughest people in the world. I've met. We all have the same problems. If it's with marriages or with families or someone in your families, every family's got a crazy person, right? We all have like the ones that want all the attentions. Yeah. So we all have those people. So we're all built the same way. We just got to figure out how we all tick. But that's what I love about what we do. All you guys do in the I listen to a lot of your podcasts. It's all the same theme. We all want to help each other. It's all we want to do.
Yeah.
Now, some people are out there to become billionaires and rich and make as much money as they can. They don't care about everyone else. That's never been our mantra. Our mission is about helping, and that's all we want to do. And if the next stage of our mission is helping suicidal, PTSD, or homeless, then that's the next way we go. We're going to do this to help people. And that's, if we could do something before I leave this, that I can look in the mirror and say, I did this then that's a good thing. And if I can save one soldier or one Marine from killing themselves, then I feel a lot better about my life. And I've done that a couple of times as a police officer. And it's just great. But I say this all the time. We're losing way too many friends.
Yep.
People that don't deserve. They just no one deserves to pass away. But when you're hurting that bad, trust me, I get it. You get to a point where you feel helpless.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like there's no way out. There's always a way out. And someone will, I mean, if somebody came to me and said, look, I need rent money or I need this, everything can be pushed off. Everything can be worked out. That's my belief, so.
Definitely is.
And anything I could do to help you guys in the Misfit Nation, I mean, I'd love to help you out any way I can, but you just tell me.
Well, we definitely will. And I mean, we're not here, like you said, we're not here to make money, but having some money to keep the show going, it's awesome. So if anyone's out there wants to donate, we're here. we have sites for that. That just keeps us online and able to get our voices out there and get the stories of our brothers and sisters out there and the stories of great organizations like yours, Darren, out there to show the world what you're doing to help others and help spread awesomeness around the world. And hopefully you and RJ can link up together this week or next week in Charlotte on Thursday. Yeah. And then, of course, in May, if we all can get there together, that'd be awesome as well.
Well, just like I said before, Rich, you have his email. I'll connect with me on my email. And then give me your shoe sizes, and then RJ, I'll let you know where I'm going to be. Just give me your cell number on there, and we'll stay in touch. It's easy.
Yeah, that's too easy, man. I'm in
see me in Charlotte. You can't miss me. I'm going to have a B Ram TRX in Charlotte with American flags and Medal of Honors on it. You can't miss it.
Oh, yeah. That's for certain. Yeah, man. So, I'm like 6 minutes from Concord, man. So, yeah, I'll be.
And how far from the Motor Speedway?
Yeah, that's like 6 minutes from me.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like right around the corner.
Well, I'll have so Wednesday I get in, I think, that night, and then Thursday after my lunch, maybe we'll hook up because I got my lunch at the Speedway and have our meeting, and then when I'm done with that, I'm free. So maybe we can hook up, grab some coffee, do something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll bring a bunch of challenge. I'll bring a bunch of challenge coins with me. I'll trade you some challenge coins.
There you go.
That's it, man. All right, no doubt, brother.
Who you got coming up next?
For us, tomorrow we have Dr. Catherine Vecchio is going to be on. She's a psychiatrist. We'll talk about how to help with more tools for the PTSD tool bag. And then we have a line of veterans coming on after next week and the following week. So it's going to be pretty busy. And of course, I have my schoolwork I have to get digging into too. So gotta become studious again.
You know who just moved to Nashville is Pete Hegseth.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes.
So Pete helped us get on Fox twice. So I was supposed to come down to meet with him. So I'll find out when I'm coming down to see him, and we'll all hook up. We'll grab some lunch. I gave some shoes to John Rich over at the Redneck Riviera, so I'm waiting to see what he thinks.
Yeah, he's a good dude right there. He helps a lot of veteran causes as well.
Well, maybe we can get him to hook up with us, and we can help out more.
Definitely, 100%.
It's all about connections, man. Any way I can help you guys, you let me know.
All right, we definitely will. And before we let you go, Darren, tell the audience how to get in touch with you and how to maybe get your shoes.
So the best way to go is rdcshoes.com. I know it says the Shopify, but if you go rdcshoes.com, that's the best way to go. Like I said, the proceeds will go to, so for $130, you're not just paying for a $130 pair of shoes, you're getting a card in there. I might even I got a new challenge coin came in today for the Patriot show. So excited. Everything came in today. Weird. And then, yeah, so I'll have to send you some coins too, but
awesome.
And then the money, and then we're also going to start putting cards in for Reads Across America. So I know everyone thinks that Reads Across America is December only because that's when they put the Reads up, but year round they do sets the coin for the Patriot.
Awesome. That is awesome.
And then the Glory Shoe coin was this one. So we kind of did both.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I'll send you guys some coins and then, awesome. Yeah. But rdcshoes.com. And the other thing too, which is really cool about what we do transparently, you'll see posts from us on our website saying, this is what we raised for the Medal of Honor site. This is what we raised for the Woody Williams Foundation. So it's not like we just take your money and say, okay, I'm going to Bermuda next week and RJ's coming with me and we're good to go. So
wait. How'd he go? No.
RJ just texted me, said, hey, when we go on that trip? So yeah. But if you guys ever, seriously, if we're in the area, and especially like Charlotte on Friday, RJ, you want to get there and Rich year round, I'll introduce you to the Medal of Honor. I think right now we have Bob Patterson going. He was in Vietnam. I think he's 101st. Or he might be. So. might be 101st or 1st Cavalry. We have Walter Joe Marm, who was he's the 3rd Medal of Honor recipient from the Battle Ice Rang. We were soldiers.
Yep.
So he was the 3rd one from there because it was Bruce Crandall, it was Ed Freeman, who was too tall, and then Walter Marm, and then I think Matt Williams from Afghanistan is going. So we probably have more. I know I was talking to Leroy Petrie, who's a good friend of mine. Leroy lost his right arm. He was 75th Rangers.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would love to introduce you to these guys because I think they can also help you with a lot of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
But their stories are insane. They're just incredible people.
Yeah. Man,
that'd be awesome.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And this has been great chatting with you, Darren. I can't wait to keep this relationship going, and hopefully you two do connect at the racetrack next week, and then all of us hopefully in May, depending on my usual work schedule.
So here's the truck right there. Look at this thing.
Oh, that's
look at that thing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Styling and profiling, baby.
You gotta come to this thing. It's gonna be amazing. Oh my god.
Man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll be surrounded by a lot of Gold Star families, and it's just anything we do moving forward, Rich and RJ, we'll keep you updated on everything. So whatever you want to do, we'll get it going. But I would love to, and I'll talk to the Medal of Honor guys, some of them, and see if they want to be on the show. I think it would help. It would
that'd be great. Yeah,
that'd be awesome for us and for the whole community.
Yep.
Anything else you need, you let me know. I know you guys are time crunch, but thank you so much for my first podcast. This is incredible.
This is easy for us too, so it's good. Thank you.
Yeah. It's too bad I'm shy, So
yeah, you're very shy. My God, we had to force you to talk. It was hard. And
do you ever get guests like that? Do you get guests that just don't say a word?
Oh yeah, and I'm like reaching for questions. It's rough sometimes, but it's part of learning the interview process. I guess learning how to talk to anyone. I had to read that book a few times to figure it out, but I thought I was pretty good at it. He could tell you I'm pretty good at talking to pretty much anyone.
Yeah, and if anybody knows how to rope anybody in, Rich knows how to rope you in.
I think so. He got you, didn't he? So yeah.
I've been told that a few times. So
anything you guys, if you just want to talk, call. But RJ, let's do coffee when I get there.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Or grab a dinner, whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm game for it all. No, whichever one we do.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
good night, man.
Have a good night.
Good night.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation Show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation.